Epic cinematic music plays as we zoom in on a bustling modern city. But look closer, this isn't the metropolis we know. Instead of cars and pedestrians, we see triceratops stuck in traffic, T-Rexes struggling to text with their tiny arms, and pterodactyls dive-bombing for food at a street vendor. Imagine a world where dinosaurs never went extinct. No Jurassic Park movies, no fossil museums, and definitely no chicken nuggets because, fun fact, birds are technically dinosaurs. Instead, we'd be sharing the planet with 40-foot-long reptiles with teeth sharper than your Wi-Fi bill. So what would life look like if the asteroid missed? Buckle up, because it's about to get wild. First things first, our planet would be vastly different. Without the asteroid wiping out 75% of life 66 million years ago, dinosaurs would still be ruling the food chain. They were the dominant force for over 180 million years after all, and their reign showed no signs of abating. This means, of course, no humans, at least not as we are today. Mammals during the dinosaur era were primarily small, nocturnal creatures, scurrying in the shadows, eking out a living while avoiding the notice of these behemoths. If the asteroid hadn't intervened, it's entirely plausible that mammals would have remained in this marginalized state, their evolution stifled by the dominance of the dinosaurs. We might be looking at a world where our ancestors were forever relegated to the role of shrew-like insectivores. But let's indulge in a bit of speculation. Let's say, against all odds, a resilient species of mammal did manage to evolve, to thrive, to one day give rise to us, Homo sapiens. What kind of world would we have inherited? A world where the very air hummed with the calls of dinosaurs? Imagine a city, not of steel and glass, but one built to accommodate creatures far larger, far more ancient than ourselves. Forget tiny apartments. Our homes would need reinforced walls to keep out nosy velociraptors, perhaps even electrified fences to deter a hungry Carnotaurus. Public transport? Picture this. Giant saddles strapped onto the backs of massive brachiosauruses, lumbering through streets designed to handle their colossal weight. Imagine the sheer scale of such a city, the logistical nightmares of navigating around a Stegosaurus traffic jam. And what about our furry companions? Would we even have dogs in this alternate timeline? Or would our ancestors have domesticated mini raptors? Picture taking your pet velociraptor for a walk, on a leash of course. Cute? Perhaps? Safe? Let's just say you'd want to invest in some seriously durable furniture. But it's not just about the practicalities. Imagine the soundscape of such a city. The air wouldn't be filled with the drone of traffic and the chatter of humans, but with the bellows of ceratopsians, the shrieks of pterosaurs soaring overhead, the very ground trembling beneath the footsteps of these magnificent creatures. The challenges of coexisting with dinosaurs wouldn't be limited to city planning. Imagine the logistical nightmare of feeding a world populated by both humans and dinosaurs. A single brontosaurus, for example, could easily consume over 500 pounds of vegetation in a day. Agriculture would have to exist on a scale unlike anything we know today. We'd be talking about supersized farms, vast fields of genetically engineered crops designed to satisfy the appetites of these behemoths, and even then, good luck keeping a hungry herd of triceratops out of your backyard garden. But herbivores wouldn't be the only culinary challenge. Carnivorous dinosaurs wouldn't exactly respect property laws. Your prize-winning Angus beef? A tasty morsel for a passing Allosaurus? Forget about insurance claims too. Act of God would take on a whole new meaning. The competition for resources would be fierce, a constant balancing act between the needs of two very different species. And let's be honest, in a world ruled by tooth and claw, humans wouldn't always come out on top. But let's not paint too bleak a picture. The relationship between humans and dinosaurs wouldn't necessarily be entirely adversarial. Just as we've domesticated wolves into dogs, horses into steeds, perhaps our ancestors would have found ways to coexist, even cooperate, with certain dinosaur species. Imagine, for instance, a pack of trained velociraptors, their natural intelligence and razor-sharp instincts honed for a very specific purpose. Security guards. Forget guard dogs. A pack of raptors would be enough to deter even the most determined intruder. And who needs Teslas when you can commute on the back of a saddled Parasaurolophus? Eco-friendly, zero emissions, and their distinctive honking could replace those annoying car horns. Perhaps we'd even have formed bonds with the gentler giants, the herbivores, utilizing their strength for tasks like hauling cargo or plowing fields. It wouldn't be easy, but over time, we might have found a way to turn these prehistoric behemoths into unlikely allies. Now, the big question that has likely crossed your mind: would we still have modern technology in a world shared with dinosaurs? Would we have electricity, the internet, smartphones, or would the constant need to survive, to avoid becoming a Tyrannosaurus snack, have stifled our technological progress? It's a fascinating conundrum. Some experts believe that the presence of dinosaurs might have actually accelerated our technological development. Imagine early humans, driven by the need to protect themselves, inventing ever more ingenious defenses, sturdy walls, then traps, perhaps even rudimentary projectile weapons. The constant pressure to outsmart and outmaneuver creatures far larger and stronger than ourselves could have been the driving force behind an era of unprecedented innovation. We might have developed advanced weaponry, sophisticated early warning systems, even rudimentary forms of robotics, all in the name of survival. So, instead of hindering our progress, dinosaurs might have inadvertently propelled us into a technological fast track, albeit one focused on defense and survival. But let's entertain an even more radical notion. What if, instead of mammals, dinosaurs had been the ones to develop higher intelligence? It's not as far-fetched as it might sound. Consider the Troodon, for instance. This relatively small dinosaur possessed a remarkably large brain for its size, leading some paleontologists to speculate that it was among the most intelligent of its kind. Now, imagine if the asteroid hadn't wiped them out. Given another 66 million years of evolution, could the Troodons, or perhaps another lineage of dinosaurs, have evolved even larger brains? Could they have developed complex communication, tool use, perhaps even their own form of civilization? It's a chilling thought, isn't it? A world ruled by intelligent dinosaurs, where humans, if we existed at all, might occupy a position similar to our primate cousins today, objects of curiosity, perhaps even pets. A sobering reminder of the capricious nature of evolution and the fine line between predator and prey. Sadly, the dinosaurs are long gone, victims of a cosmic accident that paved the way for our own species' ascendance. But what if we could turn back the clock? With the advances in genetics and cloning technology, could we one day bring these magnificent creatures back from extinction? It's a question that has captivated scientists and science fiction writers alike. And the answer, as with most things in science, is a resounding maybe. We've already successfully cloned mammals, and researchers are making significant strides in genetic engineering. The key lies in extracting viable DNA from dinosaur fossils, a task that has proven incredibly challenging. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that we do manage to overcome this hurdle. Should we? The ethical implications are staggering. Do we have the right to resurrect creatures that have been extinct for millions of years, to potentially unleash them into a world vastly different from the one they once knew? And what about the ecological impact? How would the reintroduction of dinosaurs affect the delicate balance of our ecosystems? These are questions with no easy answers. The dream of walking among dinosaurs is a powerful one, but it's a dream that comes with a hefty dose of responsibility. One can only hope that if we ever do acquire the ability to de-extinct dinosaurs, we'll have the wisdom to wield that power responsibly. So, let's return to our initial question. What if dinosaurs never went extinct? The answer, as we've seen, is complex and multifaceted. Our world would be a vastly different place, a planet where humans, if we existed at all, would share the land with creatures that have haunted our imaginations for centuries. Cities would be redesigned, our diets revolutionized, and our very understanding of our place in the world would be irrevocably altered. We might have become fearless innovators, driven by the need to survive in a world dominated by giants. Or perhaps we would have become just another entry on the dinosaurs menu, a cautionary tale about the fragility of life. One thing is for certain, it would be a world infinitely more awe-inspiring, more terrifying, and more magnificent than anything we can possibly imagine. The echoes of their reign still resonate in our museums, in our fossils, in our very DNA. And who knows, perhaps in some parallel universe, a world untouched by that fateful asteroid, the dinosaurs still reign supreme, gazing up at the stars, wondering if they are alone in the vastness of the cosmos. A universe where instead of us, they are the ones asking, what if? As we stand here, surrounded by the hustle and bustle of our modern world, it's easy to forget that beneath our feet, beneath the concrete and steel, lies a history far grander, far more ancient than we can possibly fathom. The dinosaurs may be gone, but their legacy endures. In the birds that grace our skies, in the fossils that spark our imaginations, in the very air we breathe, we find whispers of their reign, reminders of a time when giants walked the earth. And while we may never know for certain what would have happened if that asteroid had missed, one thing is clear. The story of life on Earth is a story of resilience, of adaptation, of extraordinary diversity, a story that continues to unfold with every passing moment.